Hi everyone, my name is Crystal and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Bible-Based Teens. Today is Monday, May the 4th, and this is our new scripture verse for this week. And before we get started, I just want to say that if you like the content of this channel, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget, if you have any thoughts, place them in the comment section below so we can get the conversation started. So let's get to it. So our new scripture verse for this week is going to be 1 John chapter 3, verses 2 through 3. Dear friends, now we are children of God, and what will be has not yet been made known. But we know that when Christ appears, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. All who have this hope in him purify themselves, just as he is pure. So the book of 1 John was originally written in Greek by the Apostle John, who was one of the original 12 disciples of Jesus. So this scripture can actually be broken down into two parts. The first part of the scripture emphasizes that although we know our present identity, we don't know what we will become in the future. The second part of the scripture emphasizes that we will all be changed at the coming of Christ, which should be our motivation for purification. In the first part of the scripture, John emphasizes that believers are presently both friends to each other and also children of God. This is important because Jesus called his disciples friends, which speaks to how we should actually treat each other. John also says we're children of God, which means that as children, we should obey God and look to him as a good father who takes care of his children. John goes on to say that while we don't know what we will become on the day when Christ returns, we will be like him because we will see him in his true form. This implies two things. One, that we should all be actively looking for Christ to return. And two, we will all be changed into a glorious new state of being, just as Christ was also changed after his resurrection. So this passage also implies that actually seeing Christ is the only way that such change will occur. Therefore, this future hope of eternal glory with Christ should be our main motivation to go through purification while awaiting here on earth, because purification, which means to turn from evil and live a life pleasing to God, is the only way to ensure that we will see Christ when he returns. So this begs the question, are we living lives that are pleasing to God, and are we looking for Christ to return to earth? Some of the Greek words that stood out to me in this scripture included the phrase hagnesi houten, which is translated as purified himself and can also mean present active spiritual process of spiritual preparation driven by the hope of the coming revelation. Also the phrase wo ifreptrima, which is translated as not yet made manifest and can also mean full extent of future state and is currently hidden. So this begs the question, are we engaging in a process of active spiritual preparation as we wait for our Christ to return? So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you like, subscribe,